The morning sun peeked through the curtains, illuminating the chaotic remnants of yesterday's turmoil in my mind. I lingered in the moment, trying to convince myself that the events were nothing but a vivid dream, but reality carved its truth into every fiber of my being. As I sipped my coffee, the aroma floated around me like a comforting blanket, reminding me that life had to move on despite the shakeup. With a deep breath, I toggled my phone to message Luis, my manager, about Cafe Olay's situation. I shrugged into my clothes, my mind racing with the duties of the day ahead. Breakfast was a blur, but the gravity of my situation loomed large when I picked up the call from David, my manager from my delivery job. The violent rampage destroyed the warehouse, and they had to suspending my job indefinitely, Luis messaged me back. With the cafe destroyed, there was no work, which now leaves me without pay. A daunting reality I had to confront head-on. A relentless stress gnawed at me as I realized I couldn't put off looking for new employment. My landlord, Rosie, wouldn't accept the city's terror as a plausible excuse for rent. Without hesitating, I summoned an Uber, contemplating my choices as I made my way to Rosie's doorstep. Dropping off my rent felt like a small victory, a confirmation that at least for this month I would remain just above water. Standing at the street corner, anticipation coursed through me while I checked my hands, the vivid memory of those golden beams of energy from yesterday lingering like a whisper. I pondered the unfamiliar abilities coursing through my veins, knowing instinctively that I needed guidance. The Avengers were the lighthouse in the stormy sea of confusion, and I needed their wisdom to navigate this new world. The Uber finally arrived, and I slipped into the back seat, providing the driver with the address for the new Stark Tower. As we cruised through the city, our conversation turned somber. He shared tales of loss, of a brother gone too soon in the chaos. I listened attentively, my heart echoing his sorrows as my own experiences at the cafe bubbled to the surface. After what felt like an eternity, we arrived at the gleaming entrance of Stark Tower. My senses were overwhelmed with awe, the elegant marble floors and tall windows painting a picture of ambition and brilliance. The air hummed with energy as bustling figures in suits and lab coats strode confidently through the halls, each one harboring secrets of the extraordinary. As I stepped into the sleek lobby adorned with the iconic Stark Industries logo, my heart raced in sync with the humming of the fluorescent lights above. The front desk glimmered, its polished surface reflecting the grandeur surrounding me. There sat a woman, poised and attentive, ready to assist those who passed through, yet her gaze fell on me with the weight of scrutiny. The jolt of uncertainty coursed through my veins as I introduced myself, a name that felt too small in this monumental place, barely managing to blend in among the luminaries that frequented these halls. When Connie lifted the receiver, a wave of anxiety washed over me. The cool, impersonal tone of her voice echoed in the air, and I half expected to hear laughter at the prank being played on me, just another delivery driver hoping to brush shoulders with greatness. My mind raced with doubt, bouncing between thoughts of being forgotten or the distant possibility of betrayal. Yet as Connie's conversation concluded, the tension cracked into relief. The simple phrase, "Mr. Stark will see you now," transformed the space around me and filled it with anticipation, as if I had just opened a door to another world. Stepping into the elevator, I felt the weight of the visitor's pass swinging around my neck, a tangible reminder of the meeting ahead. The walls of the elevator reflected my worries, each floor number ticking higher, stewing my nervousness. As the door slid open, a breathtaking vista unfurled. A vast office adorned with sophisticated artwork and trophies celebrating a legacy of heroism. Awe washed over me as my eyes fell upon the iconic Rolling Stone magazine, the image of a man who was larger than life, heralding an era of innovation and inspiration. Each detail beckoned me closer, each trophy and photograph a testament to the prowess that defined Tony Stark. Approaching the desk, I encountered the man whose very name whispered power and influence. The handshake was firm, confident, grounding me in reality amidst the surrealness of it all. Tony Stark regarded me as if discerning my potentials and aspirations, and then he recited my history back to me. In that moment, I became not just Adam Coates, the delivery driver or student, but a figure of interest, an emerging story unfolding under his watchful eye. Today, I was not merely an onlooker, but a part of the narrative that shaped this extraordinary world. As I took my seat, I was enveloped in the unknown, ready to embrace whatever awaited me on this unexpected journey. Tony Stark, with his brow furrowed in thought, paused and scanned my face, seeking confirmation. It was a simple word from me, yet it hung heavy in the air, thick with disbelief. Yes, my heart raced, torn between astonishment and embarrassment at being caught in a moment so raw and revealing. How could he know so much about me, I wondered, every question sparking a mixture of admiration and worry. The room felt electric as I dared to ask, "How did you know?" With a casual shrug, Tony provided the answer that transformed my perception. "I looked you up on Facebook, Instagram, and did a quick Google search," said Tony Stark as he tapped his iPad, turning it toward me. The screen flickered to life, revealing a video from my Instagram. There I was, a chaotic swirl of laughter and camaraderie, chugging from a keg, surrounded by friends who cheered me on. But just as quickly as the laughter echoed, embarrassment washed over me as the scene morphed into a moment less dignified, my face contorting mid-puke, a mess caught on camera. It was surreal and mortifying, yet Tony offered a grin, quipping, "Alcohol tastes different when it comes back up, doesn't it?" said Tony Stark as he continued to watch me, undeterred by my discomfort, before he changed the scene to footage captured from street cameras. I found myself captured again, not in reckless revelry, but in acts of courage and selflessness. There I was, ushering people from a cafe, aiding an elderly man, and then fiercely standing my ground against a menacing doom bot. The footage morphed once more to display my defenses alongside police officers, energy beams coursing from my hands, lighting up the scene against a backdrop of chaos. In that freeze frame, I stood illuminated, a version of myself I hadn't known existed. I looked like a hero, a barista-dressed hero, but still a hero no less. I looked incredible. "It takes someone very special to do what you did there," said Tony Stark. Caught off guard, I found my voice admitting, "I didn't know I had those abilities, it just came over me." A subtle smile played on Tony's lips as he clarified, "Oh, I am not talking about your abilities. It takes a very special kind of person to act as you did." His gaze held mine, compelling me to listen as he highlighted my bravery, the choice to stay and protect others rather than flee for safety when danger struck. As he handed back the iPad, displaying the footage of my audacious stand against the fate of Doombots, he concluded with a proposition that sparked a new path before me. "I would like to make you an offer. I want you to come and stay at the Avengers facilities upstate and be trained how to use and master your abilities, those instincts of yourself along with some extensive training. I think you could make a great hero," said Tony Stark, smiling. I struggled to find the right words. I know it must seem like a no-brainer, I just felt so overwhelmed in that moment. "Why don't you take the rest of today and tonight to think it over? I will withdraw this at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Let me know if you are interested, and if not, it can just be a great moment. You tell your grandkids one day, the choice is yours," said Tony, motioning me to stand and walk with him back to the elevator door. I got in the elevator as Tony handed me a card with his name and a number on it. "Either way, it was great to meet you, Adam, and I wish you the best, no matter what you choose," said Tony, pressing the elevator door himself. The elevator door shut, and I felt myself going down. I looked at the card, still feeling shocked at what I had been offered. My head was reeling with it all. Could I do this? What if I messed it up? I meant to do this. I supposed to stick to my normal life. What if I make the wrong decision? What about my family and friends? This would put them in danger. I couldn't tell them what I was doing. Do I want to live a life like that? Do I want to fight criminals and people with abilities who was to take over the world? What if I died? Who would look after my family, my mom, my dad, my twin sister, my friends? As the elevator door opened on the lobby floor, I walked out and began looking through my phone. I had 23 missed messages and calls from friends, mom, dad, and my sister. I better go and see them, I thought, as I got another Uber to take me to my parents' house.